All right, compound angle formula part 2. So now we're going to talk about addition formula for cosine. So just to grab your attention, cosine alpha minus beta from part 1 was equivalent to the product cos alpha cos beta plus sine alpha sine beta. Now we will show that when you have addition of angle alpha and beta, it will result with the same products, but the difference between them will be defined. Okay, so we need to go and refresh our memory about cosine function. So this little sketch here represents cosine graph, and as you can see, the graph of cosine function is symmetrical in y-axis. So that means for any value of x, cosine ratio of negative x will give you the same number. So for example, if you consider 90 degrees, okay, let's say this is 90 degrees. So the value of the cosine is 0, and at negative 90, you also get the same value for cosine. 60 degrees will give you 0.5, negative 60 will give you 0.5, and so on. So when that property is fulfilled, when cos x is equal to cos negative x, we'll say that function cosine x is even, or any function that is symmetrical in the y-axis is even function. Symmetry of sine x. So this graph right here represents sketch of sine x function. So sine x function is symmetrical about the origin. So, for example, for sine 90, the ratio is 1, but for sine of negative 90 degrees, the ratio is negative 1. So they are not equal. So in order to make one ratio equivalent to the other, we would have to multiply either one by negative 1. So if I were to say that sine 90 is equal to sine of negative 90, I would have to multiply that value by negative 1, which would make sense. So any other value, sine 30 degrees, it's 1 over 2. Sine of negative 30 degrees is negative 1 over 2. So to make them equal, you must multiply either ratio by negative 1. So function like that we call odd function. And any odd function is symmetrical about the origin, and any value of function at given value of x is equal negative value of that function at negative x. Okay, so now let us begin with defining the sum of alpha and beta. We're going to use a little trick here. Cosine alpha plus beta will define as cosine of alpha minus negative beta. And I'm pretty positive that you can agree with that. To subtract negative is to add the opposite. So cosine alpha minus beta, negative beta, equals from the previous video. So cos alpha times cos negative beta plus sine alpha sine negative beta. Okay, so the next step, cos of negative value is equal of cos of positive value. So we can replace cos negative beta with cos beta. So cos alpha stays like so, times cos beta plus We can copy sine alpha. And now, sine of negative beta. If I were to multiply this by -1, then this identity, then the right-hand side would become positive. So just imagine sine of negative x is equal to negative sine x, just by moving this negative over here. So this is why we'll replace sine negative beta with negative sine beta. Like that. And this portion is already fixed. Here, we multiply positive and negative. So the result will be negative, so minus sine alpha sine beta. And the left side here was cosine alpha plus beta. So this is the formula of the sum. Okay, cos alpha plus beta is equal to the difference. So this is important for us to remember, because in the next video we'll do double angle formulas, and this is important for us to know. Thank you for watching the video, and see you next time.